These are all big facts. And Stephen A is actually staying right there. He's never done working. We've got his thoughts coming up on a pivotal Game 6 in the Western Conference Final. Plus, we're going to get you set for a showdown in the Bronx as two-way sensation Shohei Ohtani gets his first start on the bump in Yankee Stadium.
Plus, some positive news for Bucks fans surrounding Giannis's knee. We'll have an update, but first we start with our headlines with news out of Wimbledon. How about this? There won't be a Williams sister in the third round of Wimbledon for the first time since 1997. Serena retired with a leg injury yesterday. And today, five-time Wimbledon champ Venus Williams lost 7-5, 6-love to Ons Jabeur. The football, the Saints signed All-Pro Ryan Ramczyk to a 5-year extension that Adam Schefter says is worth $96 million in new money and makes him the highest-paid right tackle. Remember this, Drew Brees has retired. The Saints QB battles down to Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill. On the ice, key lightning forward Alex Killorn will miss Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final tonight after blocking a shot with his leg. Killorn has 8 goals in the playoffs, and Tampa's up 1-0 on the Canadiens. To the NBA, the Lakers are finalizing a deal to hire former Knicks and Grizzlies head coach David Fizdale as an assistant. That's according to Adrian Wojnarowski. Fizdale was on the Heat staff when LeBron James played in Miami.
But back to our top story, Giannis. The NBA postseason has been brutal and takes another victim last night. Giannis, with his team down 10 in the third quarter right here, lands awkwardly after contesting an alley-oop, immediately crumples to the ground. He walks off. He was clearly hampered. New today, imaging showed no structural damage per Woj and Zach Lowe on that hyperextended knee. He's listed as doubtful. As for a timeline, just over 24 hours away. We will get to that in just a second. In terms of the Bucks without Giannis, well, it's not good. I mean, it would be a big impact on the Bucks title chances, right? If you were to miss the rest of the postseason, it would drop the Bucks' chances of winning the East from 80 to 66%. They'd still be the favorite, though. As far as winning it all, the Bucks' chances drop from 48 to 23%. Within the hour, his head coach, Mike Budenholzer, on Giannis.
Definitely do not trust the coach. Whatever the release said is what it is. Doubtful. At some point, you got to pull the trigger and make a decision, and we'll probably do that, and then we'll probably tell you we don't know who we're playing and starting and all that, and then a tip off or whenever you guys will get it, and it's kind of the normal routine. We should have our medical director come and speak to you. You guys got the coach to talk to you. So I think it'd just be best to leave it at he's questionable, and Giannis is going to do everything he can to be available.
The idea we're talking about potential availability after what we witnessed last night is sort of a miracle. Adrian Wojnarowski is joining us now. In reporting, Woj, that there was no structural damage to Giannis's knee, what else did you find out about the injury?
Well, certainly a tremendous sigh of relief for that Milwaukee organization. But now, I think Giannis Antetokounmpo, with this series tied 2-2, it's going to be his capacity to be able to come back from this. It is unlikely that he's out there in Game 5 for the Bucks. He has shown in his career to have a tremendous capacity to recover, but certainly he's in a race against the clock here with this series now tied 2-2 going back to Milwaukee. But Giannis Antetokounmpo did avoid a major knee injury.
It's interesting because on this very show just yesterday, we thought the most significant injury would be that of Trae Young. We announced here on the show he would be sitting out Game 4 with that bone bruise that was suffered here in Game 3 after stepping on the ref's knee. Here is his head coach, Nate McMillan, today with Trae still uncertain for Game 5 tomorrow.
We don't have two different plans. You have to adapt. And I think during the course of an NBA game, you're constantly adapting to situations that you can't really plan for. Trae, he's trying to give it a go, and 40 minutes before the game, he can't. So, okay, we got to adjust to him being out.
With that being said, Woj, what's the level of optimism inside the Hawks organization he'd be able to give it a go tomorrow?
There is not great optimism that he will be able to play in Game 5, but he's working toward it today. He continues, to rehab that foot, do everything he can to improve that range of motion, try to subdue, what's been a really painful injury. And I think he's going to take this up to Game 5 like he did in Game 4 and see if there's any possible way he can play for the Hawks. Certainly, perhaps it buys him a little time that Atlanta was able to tie this series up 2-2, but I think we'll know closer to game time tomorrow about Trae Young's availability.
Absolutely. It's a kind of an oversimplification, Woj, to just say next man up, but the Hawks did a great job in Trae's absence. We'll see if he'll be a go and if Giannis will be a go for Game 5. Woj reporting here on the Eastern Conference Finals.
Suns Clippers, they meet in Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals tonight, 9 Eastern on ESPN. Another series-clinching chance for the Suns as they're seeking their third NBA Finals appearance in franchise history. Phoenix has never won an NBA championship. How about this? Tonight will be the 290th playoff game in franchise history. So on the other side, Ty Lue's been here. He's been tremendous with his back against the wall. Lue has a 10-2 game record when facing elimination, the best record among head coaches to face elimination at least 8 times. But the Suns have also been very good in this spot. Phoenix has clinched the first 2 rounds this postseason on the road. A win tonight would tie their longest such streak in franchise playoff history. NBA reporter Dave McMenamin joining us now live from Los Angeles. And Dave, how would you describe the pressure around Chris Paul and the Suns as they look to close this series tonight against the Clippers on the road?
Kevin, it all comes down to compartmentalization. You don't think about the fact that you're playing a Clippers team that came back from down 0-2 in the first round, came back from down 0-2 in the second round, and now are mounting a comeback after they fell down 3-1. And you also don't think about what's happened historically in Chris Paul's career when he's gotten to this point and failed to reach the final stage. You just think about execution. Monty Williams says the team needs to play with force. They need to have a better competitive edge and come down and guard the ball better than they did in the first quarter of Game 5 where they fell down 15. Chris Paul says it's not just starting the game the right way, but it's ending quarters the right way. If you recall, in Game 5, they cut the lead down to 4 in the first quarter, and it went back up. They cut the lead, actually took the lead briefly in the third quarter, went back up to 13 by the start of the fourth, and in the fourth, we saw them cut it to 4 about halfway through, and then obviously the Clippers were able to run away with it. So it's just about staying in the moment, staying focused possession by possession. Don't think about the grandiose nature of what could occur if they do lose.
All right, we haven't seen really the fast-paced style for the Suns on offense that we saw at the start of the series. We'll see if that changes tonight with CP3 and Devin Booker. Dave McMenamin getting us ready for Game 6 outside L.A.
To our top story, Giannis, the NBA postseason has been brutal and takes another victim last night. Giannis, with his team down 10 in the third quarter right here, lands awkwardly after contesting an alley-oop, immediately crumples to the ground. He walks off. He was clearly hampered. New today, imaging showed no structural damage per Woj and Zach Lowe on that hyperextended knee. He's listed as doubtful. As for a timeline, just over 24 hours away. We will get to that in just a second. In terms of the Bucks without Giannis, well, it's not good. I mean, it would be a big impact on the Bucks title chances, right? If you were to miss the rest of the postseason, it would drop the Bucks' chances of winning the East from 80 to 66%. They'd still be the favorite, though. As far as winning it all, the Bucks' chances drop from 48 to 23%. Within the hour, his head coach, Mike Budenholzer, on Giannis.
Definitely do not trust the coach. Whatever the release said is what it is. Doubtful. At some point, you got to pull the trigger and make a decision, and we'll probably do that, and then we'll probably tell you we don't know who we're playing and starting.